What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope all of you are having a great day so far. Okay, today's episode of One Life to Live. It was crazy. I hope you know that this is not just a One Life to Live review. This is actually an All My Children review as well. I'm combining the video because I don't feel like doing two separate videos. I really just don't today. So I'm just going to combine it and talk about both. But first, I'm going to talk about One Life to Live first. Anyway, so Dani, she was at shelter shaking her little money maker for some old ass dude. He looked like he about 40. Did you not see that dude? I'm like, what the hell is wrong with Dani? Up in the club shaking her ass for some old man. He looked like he Victor age. Please. She better go sit down somewhere. Her little young ass. In the VIP section with some old man. He ain't old like 50 and nothing, but he looked like he pushing 40 or is 40. She better go sit her little young self down, shaking her little money maker. If Taya and Victor and Todd was up in that club looking at that shit, they would have beat that man down. And Taya would have whooped her little ass. Cause you know, Taya, she one of those fiery Latinas, you know. I love me some Taya though. So she went into the VIP or whatever. Jeffrey and Matthew was at the club. They went to shelter and Matthew was looking at Destiny dancing or whatever. And here go Matthew talking about, oh, been there, had that, got a baby by her. I'm like, Matthew, shut up. Destiny don't want you. Please, I could see the look in her eyes. She's over you. But I think Destiny was looking at him like something was going on between him and Dani. But anyway, Jeffrey and Matthew went into the VIP. And Jeffrey told Matthew to leave it alone. But Matthew, of course, wouldn't listen. So Matthew went up in there, tried to grab Dani away from that guy, and Dani told him to leave her alone. And the guy got mad, and Cutter had to come in and defuse the situation. So Cutter had to come in and play referee and get in between the two of them. So Cutter, you know, kicked Matthew out of VIP. And the guy was saying, oh, get me another girl. So Cutter kicked Dani out of VIP as well. I was like, wow, ain't that a bitch? So, yeah. Dani went over to the bar, smacked Matthew on the shoulder, asking him what the hell was his problem. And Matthew was saying that you just got out of hospital. You shouldn't be in no nightclub. You should be at home somewhere. You know what I mean? But I could tell Matthew Destiny is he's definitely is digging Dani. I could tell. And he was jealous. So Dani left. She went home. And when she got home, Taya and Victor were there waiting up on her. So when Taya got, you know, Taya was yelling at her or whatever, and Taya was assuming that Daniela was high. So Victor, being Victor, did a sobriety test on her. Told her to come here. Told her to follow his finger. That shit had me rolling though. Because the way Victor said, follow my finger. And she started following his finger. And then he said, lift your head up. He said, touch your nose. He said, hold your arms out. Lift your head back. Tilt your head back and touch your nose. So he knew she wasn't high or drunk. She was sober. So her and Taya got into this argument or whatever. And Taya told her, you know, pretty much like, you know, she'll be damned if she lose another child. Because Dani almost fucking died in that nightclub. And she was pissed. She was like, you're going to go back to the same nightclub where you almost died at. You know, and I agree with Taya. I think Taya is a very good mother. And some people might think Taya was a little rough on Dani. Hell no. That's called good parenting, in my personal opinion. So Dani went to her room like a typical person and slammed the door. I'm like, she do not act like she 21. What is you running in the room slamming the door for like you were 15? Like, seriously. So Taya and Victor were talking, and then they started kissing and whatnot. You know who my favorite couple is that I just love today? Bo and Nora. Bo and Nora was sitting at home, you know, like an old married couple, but they had fun. And Nora was telling Bo how back in the day when she was in college, she used to be a radio host. She used to have her own radio show, you know, talk radio. And Bo was surprised because, you know, all these years, Bo never knew that she, you know, she used to be a DJ and stuff like that for a radio station, because back in the day, Bo used to own a radio station. So he was surprised. I love the two of them together. When Bo got his cell phone and called Nora and they pretended like he was calling at her radio station, I loved that part. I loved it. I was like, yo, this is why Bo and Nora are my top fave. Because how they just have so much fun with each other, and their marriage is so fun after all these years. You know, I love how they keep the fun in their marriage. You know, and I'm sure that they're happy that they're now empty nesting. You know, Matthew has moved out, so, you know, they got more free time around house. They're even having sex in the living room. Come on now. What parents get to have sex in the living room? You only could do that when your kids is either at school or they don't live with you. So, you know, good for Bo and Nora. They got some good loving. Anyway, back at Shelter. Oh my God, Cutter, that dude who was the art dealer from Miami with the braids, I could not stand him. He looked like a fake ass Snoop Dogg, I swear to God. And then he talking about he wanted to sleep with Rama, and Cutter's debt would be paid off if he gets to have one night stand with Rama. I was like, oh please. Rama was like, no thank you. I don't blame her. And Cutter talking about some Shelter is his nightclub. Excuse me, Cutter, you're just the manager of Shelter. Blair is the owner of Shelter, therefore it's her club. And he better not be stealing no money from Blair with his broke self. Cutter get on my nerves. I don't like Cutter. Anyway, everybody already know Rama and VIMAL got that little open marriage, and VIMAL is not really happy about it, but it is what it is. I like Rama. I really do, because she brings some spice to the show. I love Rama. For all the people that's saying that they don't like the direction that this show is going in with the cussing and all that, first of all, it makes the show more realistic. Why you think they added the cussing and the kids doing drugs and stuff like that? It makes it more realistic because kids their age are doing this stuff. So it makes it more realistic. Duh, it makes the dialogue more real. And that's the vibe that they're going for. They don't want to make it your typical soap opera where shit is crazy. You know what I mean? They're trying to mix a little reality in it too. So kudos to the writers for that. Todd is in his fucking hotel room still sipping on that liquor that Victor spiked. And now Todd done passed out. I like, please don't let Todd die. Some people say they don't like Todd. They hate Todd. They don't care if he died or not. First of all, there's millions of fans who would disagree with that because Todd is like the heart of this show. Some people think Victor or whatever. Nothing against Victor, but Todd is the heart of this fucking show. Him and Vicky, Dorian, Clint, Bo, Nora, they're the heart and soul of this fucking show. Even Asa was the heart of this show. So trust me, I would not feel right if Todd died. But anyway, today's episode was good. Now it's time to move on to All My Children. Today's episode, All My Children, I loved it. I think I do agree with some people. I think the storylines in All My Children are moving faster than One Life to Live, but I feel like One Life to Live is moving faster than General Hospital. General Hospital storylines are moving relatively slow, like a fucking turtle. Slow. That slow, like a turtle. All My Children is speeding this shit up, and I'm loving it. So anyway, Dixie, she was at JR's bedside. She was at the hospital at JR's bedside, and while she was asleep, JR opened his eyes for a second and moved his hand, because you know he's still trying to come out of that coma. Joe Martin, you know, Tad's father, came into the hospital room, gave her a cup of coffee, and they were talking and stuff like that about Tad, and So apparently Tad isn't dead or in a coma. So apparently Tad is out of the country. He's out of the country on an assignment or something like that. Because, you know, Tad was a private investigator and stuff. So now Tad is out of town on an assignment and can't be reached. And apparently him and Dixie still haven't gotten married yet. They're still engaged. I'm like, damn, what is up with these long ass engagements? Tad and Dixie are still engaged. Adam and Brooke are still engaged. I'm like, damn, 5 years of being engaged. You ever heard of the movie? I think it was called The 5-Year Engagement. That's exactly what this is. But anyway. Yeah, so they were talking about Tad and that she missed him, and they were talking about all the crimes that JR committed and how he hurt people, but Dixie says she's gonna stand by his side because that's her son. Anyway, Adam, the great Adam Chandler, he was at the Chandler mansion talking with Bianca about Miranda and what happened and stuff like that, and how pissed that they were that, you know, the kids were making fun of her. So Adam got a phone call. AJ came in and was talking to Bianca, and Bianca was saying how she wanted to go check in on Miranda even if Miranda didn't want to see her. So Adam comes back in and tell AJ that the principal suspended AJ for punching Hunter. This is what I have a problem with. Why did AJ get suspended? It happened off school grounds, not even on school night. So why did he get suspended when it happened off school grounds and it was at night? So why did he get suspended? That's so dumb. So AJ threw a fit and was cussing up a storm. Adam just started smiling, talking about the kid got spunk. Adam is a devil, but a good devil. Well, there's no such thing as a good devil, but you know what I'm trying to say. Let's just say this. Adam Chandler is a devil with a soul. So anyway, Bianca goes upstairs to Miranda. Miranda starts apologizing for everything that she said to Bianca. And I admit, I'm glad that she did apologize to her mother. I was pissed yesterday because she was saying some harsh things to her mom, even though I know it was out of anger, but I could respect it that she apologized. And Bianca was telling Miranda that, you know, how it was for her when she was in school, because Miranda got to understand something. Her mother was young once. Her mother was her age before, of course, and she went through shit in school, and she don't understand how hard it was for her mother when she came out to the world that she was a lesbian. I remember they put it all over the tabloid. Do you know how embarrassing that is to have your name splashed on a newspaper saying that Erica Kane's daughter is gay or bi? You know how embarrassing that is for her. She went through the most embarrassing thing of her life. So, you know, she was talking to Miranda about that and how hard it is being Erica Kane's daughter, because you got to live up to certain expectations. And, you know, Miranda is such a beautiful girl. Like, she's a beautiful girl. She's gorgeous. And she really is a good character in this show. She really should stop putting herself down, because she really is a cool person. But she doesn't want to go back to the school. She wants to get sent to that all-girls school, Brimwell, Brim Hall or something like that. That school where Celia go to. She wants to get sent there and transfer out of the school that she go to with AJ, because she don't want to go back. But my thing is, you can't keep running away from problems. That's not going to solve the problem. You got to face that shit. You can't run away from it. So AJ comes in, you know, he's talking to Miranda, and Miranda tells him that she's leaving that high school. And he was upset by it, you know, because they are close. You know, he doesn't want her to leave the school. Anyway, Adam goes to the hospital to check in on JR. He tells JR that Brooke is now in charge of the Chandler Enterprises, since JR ran the damn company into the ground last time. And Dixie comes in, you know, he talks a lot of shit to JR, calling him a deadbeat, a drunk, a failure. So Dixie comes in and she's upset that he's saying those things about their son. You know, she's telling him to show some compassion and some humanity towards JR. So Adam finally goes towards JR and tells him that he loves him. He's always going to love him. And, you know, him and Dixie hug. I love that moment. So when Adam and Dixie walk out of the room, JR mumbles the word dad, you know, but he didn't say it loud enough. Anyway, Jesse and Zach are trying to figure out where Cassandra is, because now apparently the Kozlovs are a part of human trafficking. So they need to hurry up and find Cassandra, because the Kozlovs had her tied handcuffed to a bed. So the guy came in and gave her some pills. You know, he's trying to get her hooked on pills so that way she don't run away. And human trafficking is a very serious thing, and I feel bad for Cassandra, because nobody should have to go through that, and it's very serious even in real life. And I'm glad that they're going down this road with this human trafficking storyline, because it's very real. I feel bad for her. I hope Zach and Jesse hurry up and find her, you know, because with human trafficking, those girls could end up in any country. So hopefully they find her. Anyway, Celia, she was at the school, her dorm room, talking with Brooke about Pete Cortland. You know, he sent her a bunch of flowers and they're really feeling each other. Pete was at Jane's diner, and he was talking with his friend from LA, and his friend from LA was assuming that Pete was a player, and you know, he was kind of using Celia, because Pete bumped into Celia outside of the diner and asked her out on another date, you know, see if she could meet him for dinner or maybe a cup of coffee or something. So when he was talking to his friend was saying, oh, how long it's gonna take you to get this girl, and what are your plans? Are you gonna try to just take her virginity and then move on to the next? And Celia overheard the conversation, but she only overheard the worst part. She overheard the worst part of the conversation, and she got upset because she thought that Pete was playing her. So she ran out angry, and Pete told his friend to shut up because it wasn't like that. You know, he wasn't using her for sex or trying to play her. He really liked her. So she ran to her dorm room and threw all the flowers that he bought her. She threw them in the trash. I was upset by that because, you know, I'm a big fan of Celia and Petey hooking up. I want them to hook up because they look like a cute couple. They are a nice looking couple. So I felt bad when she threw all that in the trash, and she didn't even answer his phone call. I was like, wow. Today's episode was great. I loved it. I will see all of you tomorrow. Have a great day.